I speak to clothing brands every single day, and the one question that keeps coming up is, how do you go from selling clothes to selling a lifestyle? You already intuitively know how to market your product. You've got the flat lays, the studio shoots, the lookbooks, but UVU takes it a step further. They're the running brand that barely talks about their clothing products, and I'm going to show you how. If you're new around here, I'm Elijah. Back in 2019, I was creating video campaigns for brands like Culture Kings, Champion, and these days I'm all about helping brands build their communities through content. In this video, we're going to be analyzing 3 pieces of lifestyle content from the UVU Instagram page. And by the end, you'll have everything you need to do the same. Let's watch the first video. Immediately, you can see that they're focused on the lifestyle over the product. It's all about this guy training in the gym. The reality for many runners is that on the off days, they're there in the gym, they're strengthening their bodies. And so if you're a runner, you get it. And the thing about having no dialogue is that this now appeals to an international audience. You could be speaking any language and you can still understand the concept of going to the gym, of mentally and physically difficult things like this. So that means that they're a brand that's now open to an international audience, which means they're also able to sell internationally. One thing that everyone's talking about with the UVU brand is how cinematic their content is. Everything looks like an absolute masterpiece. So if you're a brand that's struggling how to get there, first of all, learn some videography and lighting, okay? They're the 2 baseline things you can do. But put your video in black and white and very quickly, it will make it look more cinematic. Now, why is that? It's because many brands struggle with color grading, okay? And so their footage ends up looking amateur or like it was shot on an iPhone because the colors are off. And so if you remove the colors from it, you immediately get one step closer to looking more cinematic because it's another skill you don't need. Am I saying that you shouldn't learn it? No, absolutely you should. Am I saying that you make it black and white and immediately it's gonna look cinematic? Absolutely not. If your lighting sucks, it's actually gonna become more obvious that it does in black and white. But it's one less thing not to think about if you're an amateur and you want to focus on one thing at a time. Notice how in this film, they're using both diegetic and non-diegetic sound. Okay, what is the difference? Diegetic is the sound that exists within the scene. And so that's the puffing, the rattling of the weights, things that are actually happening that you can see happening and that have sounds attached to them. And then the non-diegetic sound is the sound that is added in post-production. And so in this case, it's the music. Now, some brand owners, when they create content, will use one or the other. I'm suggesting that if you can use both, you have a lot more depth when it comes to the sound that you're creating. And I'm pulled into the scene, not out of the scene, as a viewer. And you kind of want that with social media. You want to immerse people because they're scrolling past so quick. If you don't capture and consume them, then they're moving on. So my advice for brands that are looking to create content similar to this type is to ask yourself, what would your target customer be doing when they're wearing your product? The answer for UVU is going to be working out in the gym. That's the kind of thing that they're doing. And so just take your answer and make a film out of that. It makes it really easy to create lifestyle content if your product is connected to a very clear lifestyle. All right, people, we're going deeper down the rabbit hole. This next piece of content is a full-length vlog that's been uploaded to YouTube and re-uploaded to Instagram. It's 8 minutes long.
You've got a really good idea.
I'm the trainer since you broke your feet. Shoes? Yeah.
Elliot, come here a sec.
Looks mint though, doesn't it, you?
Lovely, you'd be wearing it out to the
Yeah.
fucking town, wouldn't you?
Out last night, Tom.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, you got
Yes, we are.
one in all.
I think we should start by putting out the elephant in the room, and it's that all in all, this clip is 8 minutes long. It's hardly a clip. This is long form content in today's age. And with that, there is very little acknowledgement for the passing viewer. For someone that doesn't really know the UVU brand, they're not going to stay because that first 10 seconds is literally just one clip of the horizon and the mist and the morning. There's no hook. There's literally no acknowledgement for any kind of hook. But why would they do that? Why would they do this? Are they simply just re-uploading content from YouTube just to see how it goes on Instagram? No, I think it's a bit deeper than that. I believe what they're doing here is they're rewarding their most loyal fans, super fans of their brand. They're the people that are going to stick around, that are going to be willing to spend the 8 minutes to watch this. And anyone else who's not willing to do that is not a super fan of the brand. And so this means that you can have content that is for new audiences, that is meant to have the hook, and you're keeping in mind these kinds of things. And then you can have content that's for people that are really invested into what you're doing, and you're just trying to reward them and provide content to them and keep them retaining and buying your product. And that's really what you want to be doing because they're your highest value customers anyway. The other side of this is the myth that shorter is better. But in reality, shorter is not better. What it's really about at the end of the day is value. How much value are you providing for the minutes or the seconds that I am watching? And the reason I say this is because there are people in our generation that are willing to watch 8 hours of Netflix. Why? Because it's good. They will sit there, watch episode after episode after episode. And these are 45, 60-minute long episodes. But it's simply because there's a lot of value for the number of seconds that they're watching, that they're receiving. And so my point is with this is that if you're creating good content, then it doesn't matter if it's longer. In fact, I would be focusing on creating value through storytelling, not cutting seconds. Now let's talk about this video itself. They're simply making a vlog around going out and training for a marathon. And the way that they actually did this was that the founder of this brand got together his friends and made the UVU training club. And so they're actually training for a marathon in this, and they're just documenting the sessions, and they simply upload it as brand content. If you're a fitness brand, I mean, you could do this. You could get together your friends, you could train to something, but how do you apply the same idea to a non-fitness brand? Well, here's how I would do it. Step 1 would be to find an activity related or associated with your brand. And so it means you have to have a brand identity that undermines everything, that is the foundation of everything you build. And if you're struggling to figure out what the activity is, it's probably because your brand identity isn't clear enough yet. Step 2 would be to create a goal associated with that activity. Just in the case for UVU and their training club, it's the marathon. Step 3 is to invite your friends to join you, and step 4 is to document the process. And they are 4 very practical steps for how you can be creating lifestyle content. So for example, if you are a mental health brand, an activity that's associated or related with that might be going on a walk each day. What you could do then is make a video where you're hiking in beautiful places and asking hard questions about mental health. And you're walking with your friends and you're talking about your own personal mental health. Just get another one of your mates to film it. And there you go. Now you've got lifestyle content for a mental health brand. Or how about a brand that's founded in the music industry? I would choose an activity like making music in the studio. It's a very obvious activity that's related to music. And so your video could then be in the studio making music for a day with your friends. The goal being, we're gonna make a song by the end of the day. And so the video, you're there, you're playing with different tunes, you've got some instruments, you've got a MIDI keyboard, you're mixing it, you're getting the live reactions. This is cool if I'm into making music and I'm into the music scene as well. Step 1, find an activity related to your brand, then create a goal that's associated with that activity. Step 3, invite your friends to join you, and finally step 4, document it. And hey, by the way, this is your personal invitation to join me in the Super Fan Club, the space for fashion entrepreneurs building clothing brand communities. We're going to teach you how to turn your customers into super fans. And there's 3 things that you get access to inside. First, there's a 5-part clothing brand community course. Then you'll get access to a network of hundreds of other brand owners, as well as a free one-on-one onboarding call. And the best part is that it costs $0. So what's the catch, you're asking? Well, here it is. Only 33% of applicants actually get in, because we are only looking for the most committed brand owners. So if you're game enough, click the link in the description below and apply now for free. I'll see you on the inside.
Yeah. 10 more seconds. Keep going now. All the way. I don't think it's going to be... Wow. 2. 1 more. Keep the rhythm. Keep the rhythm. Yeah, pull over now if you can. I want more bells. Six, 7, 8, 9. Push. You can't just. Stop, and how you feeling? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, this is so golden. This is so golden because I want this to show you how you can go about creating a style behind your brand that people recognize. There are some things that change and some things that always stay the same from video to video. And so something that stays the same to start is the color grading. You've always got a very dramatic grade and it's leaning towards the blues. And the music, it's ambient, it's dramatic, you sometimes in a minor scale, it's kind of solemn. But there's some things that change. For example, this video is a POV. They've got a camera that's attached to someone's chest with a body mount, and it makes you feel like you're in the scene. And so to have this, some things that stay the same, yet the diversity, when you're creating content about the same stuff all the time, they're always creating content about running, they're always creating content about fitness or about going to the gym. That's super important to decide how are you going to show this in different ways. And so in the past, we've seen the vlog. This time, we see a compilation that's more about the lifestyle, the day-to-day, about this is many different training sessions, and we're showing how we live our lives. It means that now when you see a UVU video, you know it's their brand without even having to look and see if it's their brand. You just know. And that's in fact what a brand is. It's the association of two things. And so you associate the UVU name with that particular aesthetic. So let's talk about the future. Here's how I would take things a step further if I was running the UVU social media page. What I would do is I would take 5 to 7 people from the UVU training club core team, the group of friends that are around the founder, and I would create personal pages for each of them. They might already have personal pages, but I'd probably create some that's just dedicated for things to do with fitness if they don't already have one. Then I would set them up with content strategies and production teams to document their training in the lead up to a marathon or a big goal in order to establish them in the cross-country marathon community. Now, to make sure that it's not just copy and paste content, I would focus on what makes each of these individuals unique as a person. For example, for one of the athletes, it might be about how they juggle family life and training. Or for another, maybe it's the music that they listen to, and outside of fitness, they're really into playing the guitar, and that inspires what they listen to in their earphones. Or maybe for someone, religion is really important, and so a lot of their content is around how fitness helps them connect with God. The point is that each of these pages feels like it's on brand to UVU, and yet it feels unique to the individual. And so as well as building their own audiences personally, I would collaborate some of the posts between their personal page and the brand page, which would make the brand feel really connected to the community. And as a result, I believe that their social media would become almost like a TV show where these guys in the core team of the training club would become characters for the brand. And people could have their favorite characters and people that they follow, and even if they're not into all of them, maybe they resonate with some in particular. And so it would do a couple of things. It would expand their audience as well as keeping it specific at the same time. So Addy, the founder of UVU, consider this my application to create a campaign with you guys. But thanks for watching this video. I hope this was valuable and helped you with some ideas about how to build a community with creating lifestyle content. And dear listener, thanks for watching this video. I very much appreciate you being here. If it was helpful in any way, please like and hit the subscribe button because I'm creating lots more content like this. Also, if you're not already part of the Superfan Club, I invite you to join. There's a link in the description. I'm Elijah Delport and I'll see you next week.